Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today, and I would like to discuss to you about light deck for beginners. So when playing God's Unchained, you gonna start using a welcome a starter pack that as I can show here that you have like a free cards. They call it welcome cards, and eventually you have to level up and to gain more cards, and that card that are free rewarded to you every level are called core packs. And without further ado, I would like to teach you guys how to build a proper light deck, especially for beginners. As you can notice here, we have a light starter here, and if you click that one, this will be your first deck that is free for you, and everything here are welcome cards, and you can like start edit this one if you want to replace along the way. But and if we gonna teach you, if eventually you gain more packs and you get more cards, I will let you I will show you like what are the best cards that can be used from core and welcome. And so create deck, we go for light, and we're gonna go for the welcome fact. And based on the deck, based on my experience playing light are majority like a aggressive deck, or a mid-range deck. Technically, if you want to go for a control deck for light, you need like a other expansion card. But for beginners, we could start with aggressive a deck that is currently also used in higher rank like the Mythic rank. And based on this one, as you can notice, if we go now for the set, that will be a welcome set. We will, because we're gonna go for a aggressive one, we go for a curve where majority of the high cards count will be on our first CC followed by 2 CC. And like I explained before, the main reason why you need more cards in one casting cost and two casting costs is that during the start of the game, and if you're gonna do mulligan, you have high chance of getting more cards like one casting cost and two casting costs, rather than getting those five casting costs or more, because you don't want to take be part of you don't want like you have no cards to play during your first and second turn. And if that happened, technically you're already in disadvantage. So what I recommend, as always, like same like what I mentioned in nature and war, will be the wild hog. This like one of the best one casting cost, with a two strength and three health. And technically majority of one casting cost is either one strength, one health with ability, or two strength, two health creature. But because he's like three health, it's already advantage in terms of like when in terms of combat damage. And the only downside, he has confuse. So confuse means like he has 50% chance to hit his target. So if I want to attack a certain creature, it may go to attack gods or another creature. Or if I want to attack gods, it may attack other creature. So that's the only disadvantage. But if the opponent has a front line like a wall, technically he will and that's the only front line on the board. Technically he will attack the front line. Confused or will not be affected. Okay, and one of the tier one deck that most commonly used by other aggressive deck are Vanguard Axuman. And you can also use regen here temporarily for this one. So I recommend for a good curve, you need at least at least to I know the one casting cost should be 8 to 10 in numbers. If you're gonna go for a mid-range build, you're gonna lower the amount in one casting cost into casting cost, just like to fill up with the 4 to cast or 5 to cast. But for now, because do aggressive, we can. Now, I highly recommend this. If you get further, you can like choose more on the core. So for the core, I highly recommend as much as possible the Blind Martyrs. As you can see, Blind Martyrs and Epic. And Epic are, you're gonna get an Epic pack every 10th level. So high chances at the very beginning you don't have this. So technically we can like replace this one for now. Either a Rider Sail Weaver. And the most famous one that still used majority by even in the high ranks like the Mythic player are the Shield Bearer. So technically we have 8 here, and if you want more you can have Athean Archer. So if in case you don't have this Rider Sail Weaver, Shield Bearer, because this is like a core that you must earn during a leveling up, you can replace anything one. So you can use also, rather than Archer, you can go for Trial Spirit. You can also, this Trial Spirit can replace Shield Bearer. As you can see, this one, I believe this is like a good set. Like we have total of 10. If later, if you wanted to reduce it that one, we can like go back and remove some cards. So currently, let's go now with the second, like the 2 casting cost creature now. Currently, there's only one. No, we have like 2 automatic. So I recommend get the Battle Luminary, because this will increase 1 health of all of your creature. You can use this one for now, but if you don't have other core. But if we go back now to the core, for the 2 casting costs, I highly recommend Devoted Follower. And if we're gonna get more, 2 casting costs, we can go for Feli Janissary. So technically, light is equivalent in Magic the Gathering, like a white mini. So we're gonna go for the 2 attack minion, and later I will explain why. It's also, you can also go for Dark Maniac if you don't have. But one of the most favorite, like a must in a core is like the Skeleton Heavy, because 2 casts you have got a 4 health, and this is like a good option. Technically, some of the majority of the aggro like War and Nature for beginners, you add this skeleton, and even in Mythic rank or higher, they added this one. So you can like go for Shield Maiden, or you can go for Viking. But for now we have like currently 8. I believe this is good. Now we go back to welcome for the 3 casting costs. So for the 3 casting costs, I highly still recommend Hunt Warden. For the 3 costs here, you can select other 3 costs here, or 1 spell for each. But moving forward, the more you get core packs, let's select on the 3 casting costs. And for the 3 casting costs, I highly recommend Bright Mage. Even in the Mythic, some people use this one. You can have like Bronze Servant, just like to your counter with deck with a like War with or War with equipment like War, Nature, this Death, Deception, or Magic, because some other god have a weapon that are like literally built for them. So you can like have that one. I think we're good here. 5 will be enough. And then if we go now to the 4 casting costs, so if you don't have some of this one, you can still temporarily replace it with other 3 casting costs. But I believe this is like a good 3 costs. And now if we go now to welcome for the 4 costs, for here I can recommend Radiant here temporarily for the 4 costs. But if we go to the core, I still prefer for the 4 costs. Oh no, for the 3rd cost, I forgot the Light Levy. Light Levy is a must card. So if you have to drop one of the 3 cards here, you can drop that one or drop the Hunt Warden, or vice versa. So if you don't have Bright Mage, you can have like Hunt Warden and stuff. So let's say this is your build at the beginning. I think it's all okay. So this kind of build, but light levy is a must. For me, it's a must you have. And the good thing about light levy, like I mentioned, later I will show you another the star store where you can get some of the common and rare while leveling up. So now we got like 5. I think 5 is good enough for, and then let's go for the 4cc. For the forecasting cost, either because we're like do like a white weenie, if you have one Syrian blade, you can get one of this one, and you can like, if you don't still have if you could like also use one of my favorite one, you can use wetland ogre. You will never get wrong in wetland ogre, especially on lower rank and something like that, or even Tibayatan. So uh, Tibayatan is Tebian brawler is also good here. You can also good Basilis for another for you to remove weapons, and so anything that forecast, but I highly recommend wetlands. You never get wrong in playing wetlands. Wetland as a starter here. So let's say we only need 4, and this is the card. You can go for a town guardian. This will be okay. Or some famous are like the veteran archer for card remover, or you can like go for Carthaginian Marines. Okay, and now for the 5cc, if you go to wetland, I love wetland, welcome. You can still use Rile Your Sign. I think this will be a good option here. Or if we go now to core, I still prefer a non-confused, especially for a non-nature deck. We can go for the 5 cast. So eventually you can select one of this one. You can go for deals 3 damage, ogre archer. You can go for this one, hidden rare, deals 2 damage. But for a basic one, we go for Helios. You never go wrong for Helios for a beginner one. And then for the 6 card, you can go for, if you have Asterios, this is a must. Asterios is a must card in all light deck. Compare with nature, you don't really need rare, a legendary, but in light, this is like a must. So that's why this is like one of the most popular legend cards that you must have, like obtaining. And lots of players, like I know that already level 300 or 200 above, or level 190, they still don't have access. So if you're lucky, take advantage of using it. Now, just like I said, if you want to a little bit control, you can like remove this one, and you can use another control a little bit, like the destroy a random creature with highest. If you notice you're fighting with, you can use this one just like to destroy the biggest creature in the board, because as long as you can notice, you are like more on a weenie, or like a aggressive small creature. This will destroy anything that is big cast by a player late game or in the 6th turn and onward. You can also use a Holy Enchanter. You can like Holy Enchanter literally buff majority all of your creature in both. And now that's the good thing. Light has a God's power, spend like 3 casting cost, and it gives you a 2/2 creature. It's one of the good power, God power in God's Unchained, and that's for the. And as you can notice, Asterios will buff all of those anything that has with 2 or less strength, and FYI 2 strength, not with health. So anything that is 2/4, as you can say, you have lots of 2/4 here at the very beginning. 2/1, 2/1, 1/1, 1/3, everything will be buffed by Asterios, except for the like Helios and Wetland. So technically, if you want to a little bit get a little bit more aggressive or weenie, so these are like highly recommended light light deck. Now, technically, there's no mid range or uh, late game deck for light because of its current God's ability. You can like go for the God's power, like heal 3. You can do that, but then you have to change your curve into more on mid to late range, where you can like take advantage of penitence, where you can like convert anything, any creature into a 2/2, and you take over it with prompt light and protect. You can like take advantage of that one, or if you have like Hylian, something like that. As you can notice, this is like eight casting cost. It will be super late. So, but for now, as a beginner, let's go for like a standard, like an aggressive deck. So if you notice, this is like would be the build that I recommend. But and I will show you what currently I use in Mythic. So currently, I using this one in a Mythic rank, and as you can see, the highest I have is like Asterius, and I still have like some of those a lot of like core cards here. And as you can notice, Ritual Rod. I never recommend at the on the because these are like epic. Epic cards are hard to get cards. It's like second to the legend one. And as you can notice, this is like my I can replace Atian Archer with the Spirit Breaker, like the level 1. Like I Trial Spirit, I can replace that one to buff creature. And as you can see, they're like exactly Anubian, Devoted Follower, and even on the 3cc, I get still Light Levy and Bright Mage. On the 4cc, I get the two legendary from the new Divine expansion, Divine Order expansion cards. And I have like this from Genesis and other one, and Canonize. So, and I believe some of the light in Mythics that they use this kind of build. So if we go now to the current players rank, which one here? I think it's Montig. No, Montigius. Oh, Frenzy. I believe, I think Gerald is no, they use. So yeah, currently light is not famous in current meta now, even though there's a lot of buff cards. Still flooded. The current meta now still flooded with nature, magic, and war. But the deck that I recommend are for you to level up and especially for flux farming. So flux farming is where you gonna get this gather the Gauntlet of Gods, where you every time you need to at least play win 3 games for certain god to get the max flux. And flux are used kind majority in technically one of the requirements in forging. So forging is where you gonna forge 2 of your common core cards, and once it forged into a meteorite card, you can sell it and you can earn money, and that's the main purpose of that one. And previously I told you like every time you level and every time you play Gauntlet of Gods, you will get also stars. So stars, if you go to the star store, as you can see, you can buy a light levy here. And for example, I gonna spend a 1,000 just like to buy this card. So this is like another way for you to gain cards like certainty. This, like for example, this one it changed every 8 hours, and this one I think 16 hours, and this one is like a like every 3 days, and this one like the minted one are every week. It changed every week. That's one. So there's a cooldown here when will be all of these stores will be. So some of the rare card that hard to find like Walker, Hylian, only rare cards, you can like manage to get it and buy it here. That's why you really need to play a lot in and gather some playing a lot and gather more flux and stars. So currently I have this 25,000 flux and 100,000 for the stars. So, and one thing that I want to show you here, so as you can notice here, uh, at cardsunchained.com, you will see like the most used cards in in Gods Unchained. So as you can notice, majority that I show you building the light deck is composes of one of the common and most used neutral cards here. And as you can see on the top 20, you don't see light, and that's what I'm like trying to tell. Light is not popular in sense of like it's used for leveling up and for ranking. Some people play light currently now in a meta just like for flux farming, like I said, flux or star farming. But technically for weekend ranks and leveling up, some people are literally still dominated by nature, war, and magic currently now. And as you can see, the one that I mentioned to you, the top five, the top four are already included in light. So if we can go for like if we gonna scroll down, as you can see, there's still light. Most famous in light are Light Levy and Devoted Follower, Blind Martyr here. These are like all, as you can see, are all core cards and currently one of the most used in light deck. And some are like this one, light. This is like a trial expansion. You have this Imperious Might that I mentioned if you want to do a little bit of control, and Canonize. So this website will tell you like what are the current most used cards for either what kind of gods set. So that's all. So if you have like questions, kindly leave it in a comment and kindly subscribe and share my video so everyone will like able to learn playing Gods Unchained. Thank you so much and God bless. Have a nice day. Bye.